All right, listen, everybody. I can't go into too much detail, but there is some very, very odd stuff going on. I'm certainly under attack right now from in many different ways, and I just want everybody to know to just kind of have your eyes open. And I have my eyes open, but there's a lot going on. So I'm still working. I'm still building. Nothing's gonna stop that. But I'm just telling you guys right now, be on the lookout because I'm under attack. All right, let's.
What's going on, y'all? This True Results. Salute to everybody. I need family, friends, supporters. I need all the haters. We got a black brother, young black brother, that we need to keep an eye on. He has found a way. Started when he was 17 years old. I think he's just barely 22. Found a way to turn plastic into 3 kinds of fuel. And his life is in danger, grave danger. His name, Julian Brown. I'm gonna let him introduce himself in a second, but let me give y'all a brief summation. Recap. 21, 22 years old, young black brother. He wanted to find a way to make a change in the world for everybody. So he chose plastic. Let's talk about plastic real quick. The only reason it's so much plastic that goes to waste is because the powers that be, the government, hasn't found a way to turn plastic into profit. But this black brother did find a way, right, to turn plastic into profit. He went to Washington, got the test ran, as y'all about to see, that the test said that what he's doing, the fuel products that he's creating out of plastic, grade higher than the fuel that they selling. Wow. Now he got black helicopters following him everywhere he go. And that's all I'm going to say. Social media, he has a following, and he's been missing. Well, not active on his social media platforms for 2 weeks. Now, I had already started doing my research. 30 minutes ago, I found an update, as y'all about to see. It says his mom is telling everybody that he's okay. 30 minutes ago, that's what I found, right? Now, I don't mean no harm. And I'm gonna say this. That's what a mom supposed to do. If he had to go into hiding, well, he got to go into hiding. Now, I'm going to say this, and y'all know I'm true. No disrespect. I don't trust shit when it comes to what he's doing is a threat to the way they sell everything. Right? What kind of young black brother they gonna let turn plastic into better fuel than they selling? Don't y'all know? This a threat to the 1%ers? Yeah. So now, if now's the time for people to keep an eye on Julian Brown. Now, what I was just going to say, his mama, God bless her heart. If you're good, you're good. But right now, I know how they play. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and we gonna be covering this. And I need everybody to keep an eye. How many times must black people make history and they gonna steal it? Just like peanut butter. Yeah, True said that, do your homework. So I'm gonna end it right there. God bless y'all heart. And this real. We all of us, it don't matter the color, the race, or everything. We are the people. Right? And what the Constitution say, right? But if we the people with all the power, then why everybody is so selfish? That's how they win. When is it gonna end? True. Check him out. Julian Brown, y'all. For real.
I know that I'm not going to live long. And that's why I put every day, every hour, every minute into building, into growing. Why am I out here working on this plastic in the fuel reactor I've been working on for 5 years, since I was 17? Why am I out here in 100-degree weather? Why am I out here despite being falsely accused and reported to the EPA and the IRS? Why am I out here despite weird black helicopters that turn off their radar transponder circling me 6 times at night? Why am I out here sleeping in my van, crazy humidity, mosquitoes, gnats flying in, and yet I still do it? Why am I out here despite having to drive 4 hours every time I want to work on this machine? Because when I was doing it in my parents' backyard, I blew myself up and I had to go to the hospital for 2nd-degree burn surgery. I do this because this is my mission that I've assigned myself to. I do this because I do not fear death. I do not fear suffering or uncomfortability. You know what I fear? I fear allowing an idea of something that may not even exist or happen have enough control over your entire life to where you're not even really living your life. That's the only thing I fear. And thus, I am completely set on what I want to do here, and nothing will steer my course but myself. And I am not a quitter. And now that I've set my mind on this, because I wish to liberate humanity, I wish to liberate humanity from this cycle in which we're bound by waste, in this cycle in which we're bound by division, in this cycle in which we're bound by not knowing ourselves. I wish to free us all from all of this. And now that I'm set on that mission, I'm not giving up. And so it will happen, no matter what. Because you know what? To me, when I'm building something, I expect it to be hard. I expect it to be uncomfortable. I expect it to be difficult. You know why? Because that's the whole point. You have to suffer to grow. You have to feel uncomfortable to attribute value to what you do. So you may see this and you see a piece of metal with certain pieces of metal welded onto it, but I see it for what it really is. I see it because when I see this, I can go back in time to not just putting it together, but the motivation as to why I put it together, the hope, the purpose, the passion, all right here embodied. My soul is within this, just as yours is within anything you do and put your mind to as well. So if you wonder why I'm out here and why I'm not going to do anything else but continue to stay on this mission until I see it through, until I say it's complete, that is why. Because it doesn't matter what anything externally is. There is no threat. There is no uncomfortability. There is no amount of suffering that will steer me from what I wish to do, because that is the life I wish to live. It's inevitable. There are going to be a total of 8 operating magnetrons. Each of these are the equivalent of 1 microwave oven of power going into this chamber. So 8 microwave ovens worth of power will go into this chamber and turn that plastic into fuel. Why? Because this chamber is going to actually be under vacuum, so there will be 0 oxygen. Without oxygen, the plastic cannot catch on fire under the heat of the microwaves. Instead, the plastic actually breaks down to its basic chemical components, which are going to be petroleum vapors. Those petroleum vapors will go up this pipe, and they will route their way down here. And down here, you see we have these condensers, shotgun condensers, deflamators. These are high surface area pipes, and these are going to actually cool down that petroleum vapor that has just formed from the plastic and return it into petroleum liquid. And this liquid is no longer plastic. It is a permanent chemical change. This petroleum liquid will come down here and collect into this keg. And now there's going to be some vapors that never turn back into liquid. And so we need to cool those vapors down and make sure all the moisture is out of them. So this right here is an 8-inch condenser, just like what you saw over here. These 4-inch condensers, this is an 8-inch condenser here. And this will be cooled down to below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, as well as this 40-foot stainless steel jacketed coil, as well as these additional shotgun condensers, 2 inches. And so that will make sure all those vapors are completely dry, and the rest of those vapors become a natural gas alternative, which will go up through these pipes here, and they will go into this recovery pump here, which is going to keep the machine under constant vacuum, sucking them out. And those vapors will get routed into this array of tanks I have here to have compressed natural gas made from plastic waste on demand. And the rest of those oils we were talking about that end up in this keg, well, they are going to end up being a crude oil alternative made from plastic waste, and they're going to come out here. I'm still setting up all this plumbing. And anyway, those oils, once they're created, they are like crude oil. Kind of a big array and mix of different chemicals and fuels put together. So we need to separate those out and refine it. And that's what this is for right here. This is the distiller. And this will allow me to take that plastic crude oil and turn it into plastiline, plastadiesel, and plastic kerosene, aka gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel alternatives made from plastic waste. So that's the system. And it's about to be operating soon. The last step is to actually go ahead and mount this continuous feed chamber above the reactor, and everything is pretty much ready to do that. I'm waiting on a few valves to arrive here, but I have built a little system to be able to hoist it up. So let's do it.
Connecticut, we got one. Express your talent. Ty Berry, Saint Laurent. Let's go. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. EYT, Ty Berry, Saint Laurent. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. EYT, Ty Berry, Saint Laurent. Niggas talking shit cause I'm not around, like I'm gone. This shit was real, like you said I would've been on your mama's lawn. Met you at the corner store, lay it by your car. It ain't about no investment, so no, I don't respond. Pay my own bills, you live for free with your baby moms. I drive my own cars, I went from jail bars to the car to the bar. I'm a star, I ain't put rapper from the star, cause that's what they are. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. EYT, Ty Berry, Saint Laurent. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. EYT, Ty Berry, Saint Laurent. Like the king of Memphis, I'm about to run it up like dog. About to take off on that no rip, take off. Money train on the way, no stops, rip the brakes off. Unlike Bernie, the feds came, I'm laid off. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. EYT, Ty Berry, Saint Laurent. P-Mo 3, I got that dog food, fuck shoes. I'm stepping on next and hard to see the bag don't talk, the bag they move. That's why you don't see me next to you. A space to spade, nigga know I'm not throwing shades, but I look better than Thug and these YSL shades. Smoking blueberry haze, taking shots to Don J. You ain't talking M&M's, I got nothing to fucking say, okay? If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond.